To my knowledge, I could be right or wrong, but I've never been depressed once in my 58 years until late February of this year. And once it started, I hit a spiral that just got worse and worse and worse.
When did that day come? When did you know that you were in deep trouble, and if something didn't lift, you didn't know if you could make it out?
Yeah, my perception was that it was mostly financial because I didn't get it, that I could just say no. No was not in my vocabulary. My kids knew it, my former knew it, and all I had to do was ask and I'd write a check. Because of my perception that I had cash flow, I could just pay for anything and make up for it later. I'd get a big hit and erase it. Well, I tethered myself down, so I needed $30,000 to $40,000 a month to break even, and that's a lot of pressure when your business is one chief and one Indian.
Yeah.
I have been a master my whole life at taking any emotion that I didn't like and setting it totally outside of my consciousness. Do it instantly, to the amazement of my family, my siblings, almost to the point where they suspected that it's so thorough and so complete deflection of emotions that normal people, if there is such a thing, would feel under stress, duress, pressure, fighting with your spouse. This guy, they used to nickname me the Teflon man. Nothing sticks. Well, one day it stuck.
So let's talk now about being found on the mountain.
So it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I grab a couple of bottles of water because, I'm a hippie. I can swallow pills without water, but this was a little more than I wanted to try. So, I took 2 bottles of water, went about 20 yards into the sagebrush, and it was kind of thick. And I'm hoping, helicopters, police and the kind that, they would send out, once you're missing for a while, wouldn't find me. But then I thought, oh man, what if they have dogs? I mean, they could probably just make a beeline right to me. So I scooch about another 10 yards off, and so I take all the pills. Must have been, I'm guessing, but it was a big sack of them. Every color of the rainbow, and ups, downs, arounds, sleepers, waker-uppers, and I don't know. Half the labels I didn't know, but I said, well, might help, just by the volume.
You came back from the brink of death.
Absolutely. Should have been.
What did you discover about yourself and about God?
It wasn't instantaneous, but I did, God bless Bill Basalki. He came visit me so many times, but I did get the sense that God was still there with his arms open wide to bring me back into his fold. It's unbelievable, but I chose to accept that. Storms come, you're guaranteed the tough times will come. There's no free pass because you're a Christian now. The difference is how you choose to react and process them. If you just turn to God, and what I didn't have was the patience. All I could see is this is a dead end and I'm headed there at 90 miles an hour versus, gosh darn it, God's timing isn't the same as ours. I wanted to fix right now. This is horrible.
And I think you learned to ask for help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so for anyone who's in the depths of depression, it's going to be the toughest thing you've ever done, is to reach out and tell someone, especially if you've never had a psychologist, psychiatrist. Because even when I accosted you a couple of times, help me, I wasn't telling you the real story. I was afraid to let that out because it was so horrible and so scary. I just couldn't let you see that. And that's a big, big mistake. Let me give you a great quote from Pastor Bill Basalski. When I was starting to come out of it, I was still in a lot of physical pain, but I was in the old folks unit, which was a nice stepping stone for a couple of weeks to try and recover before I went into one that was more active. He came in all the time, so I told him, he asked me, how are you doing psychologically? I said, I really feel now like I've got a clean slate, that life as I knew it will never be the same, and mostly for good. I mean, yeah, I'm technically disabled, living on a fixed income, not this huge cash flow, and it's such a freedom. I've got literally a blank palette on which to paint the rest of my life. And I'm gonna let God help me figure out what that might be, and it's an absolute thrill. Bill says to me, you know what, brother? That's a great observation. I'm glad you're feeling that way. But what most people don't realize is that with God, every day is a clean slate.
That's good.
Whoa, yeah. It gave me goosebumps just thinking about it.